Ramona, California, October 2013. Professional service, computer water well target versus blind techniques, water witching, etc. This is Steve's parcel outlined in red on top of a hill. Well drilled within a red outline. Production 60 gallons per minute at 250 feet deep. Hilltop is 1,600 feet away from the valley bottom. Computer success rate is around 90% for a gallon per minute output averaging 15 to 20 plus gallons into the hundreds of gallons within a 600 foot depth. If there is an aquifer system beneath your parcel, the computer will image it 100% of the time. Steve stated that everything written on Radar Water's business card turned out to be true. More water at less depth, savings of 40% in pump equipment, with a huge savings in the electric bill. Average depth of drilling 2 to 400 feet, saving around $2,500 plus for every 100 feet not drilled. This computer-generated target saved Steve $20,000 plus. Contractor's advice was to hire water witcher driller Rick Aspen Drilling in Ramona. Contractor's well drilled to a depth of 1,100 feet with only 1 or 2 gallons per minute. Why would the contractor recommend a witcher, Rick Aspen Drilling? He drilled to 1,100 feet for a few gallons per minute. Kickback, relative, friendship. When you drill blindly, you are making the driller rich and maybe his buddy. Water witching info. Riverside, California, driller D-tray, drilled to 800 feet, maybe 2 gallons per minute, on a water witching target. Drilling near surface fractured rocks. On the surface here are fractured rocks, is not a good idea. I'm going to come back to this slide. Do not let a driller inflate your expectations by using a water witcher, just to be deflated after hindsight. 80% of witched wells are poor. You will see a well completion report, driller's report, showing rate of success is less than 20% on water witching targets. That is an 80% plus failure rate within 600 feet in depth for a good well. This site is at Deportola in Benton, Temecula, California. Owner then utilized a San Diego driller. The computer yield was 30 gallons per minute at 400 feet. Ramona, California, plumbed for electricity. Here's the electric pipe. plumb for water. Here's the water pipe and a frog. 1,100 feet, no water. This is a water witching target. See the rock outcropping? We are going to go back to the prior slide. Drilling near surface fractured rocks is not a good idea. There's no water here and no water here. January 15th, 2014. Question asked to me many times: what can I do about my low productive water well? The last time I spoke to Rick Aspen around 2011, he stated that his client took him to small claims court, and the judge ordered Rick to pay the client back the full amount of the well. Can you guess why? Why would a client sue a driller after he paid the driller? View all videos and water witching video. Then go to the main menu, legal state certified. People believe the driller knows where the water is. Just not true. If you believe that, then get a guarantee from the driller, or does he have a disclaimer in contract? If you come across Rick Aspen's court case, San Diego, send me a copy. Today, if a driller selected your well with poor results, with disclaimer, you can legally recover. If a driller recommended a water witcher or witched himself, you can recover with a new well. Water witching will cost you thousands. A friend who is interested in purchasing Rick Aspen's rig. Rick is selling his rig, moving out of town, I hear. A friend who is interested in purchasing Rick Aspen's rig went on a job to watch his operation. 1,600 feet deep with only 1.5 gallons per minute. That's $25,000 plus. I know of many deeply drilled, low gallon per minute wells that local Ramona drillers witched with wooden sticks and metal rods. Wherever one drills, you will always get a degree of water if you drill deep enough. Water collects in fractures. You need to drill into a fracture system for a viable water well. Water witching is water wishing. Never believe a water witcher or listen to a driller that witches or recommends a water witcher. See the water witching video. Some drillers secretly water witch without you knowing it, using a concealed compass, etc. Second well drilled. Owner's well. Number 2, the plot map. This is another water witching target. Drilled to 2,010 feet. Read carefully. Small seepage. SM for small seepage. Yield. Estimated yield. Small seepage. Today's price just for the wells, no pump, around $65,000 plus. Ouch. 4,000 feet in drilling expense. Both of these drillers know of radar water geophysics. Don't be fooled. Most drillers do not care about the homeowner's success. They like to drill deep to double, triple, quadruple their income, even up to 8 times the normal price of a water well. Shady drillers will tell you that the computer is 50-50 or it is illegal for them to recommend anyone to keep you from using the service, enticing you to drill blindly. Steve's conversation with John Warden Drilling in Ramona, October 2013. For this current 60-gallon per minute water well, John stated to Steve something like this: "If I drill 1,000 feet on a radar water computer target, you will not get anything. I will have to charge you for the drilling. You should drill at your water tank." John said he has a friend in the military that said the computer can only image to 30 feet in depth. That statement of depth is totally false or a flat-out lie. This page was created by Dr. Charles T. Young, Professor of Geophysical Engineering, Michigan Technological University. Dr. Young states, "The frequency, I call it an energy wave, is refracted into the earth and penetrates into the earth typically 100 to 500 meters in the rocks." Professor of Geophysical Engineering. John Warden, old school water witcher. His statement of 30-foot depth to the public is misleading, false. I have known John for 20 years and never trusted him. Most drillers make false statements. Dr. Young states clearly, the depth of the hole and thus the cost of drilling could be reduced if the location and orientation of the fracture zone were estimated by geophysics before drilling. The wave interacts with electrically conductive water-bearing fractures and create a secondary signal. Dr. Young included some references within his paper, and his first reference here is waterlocating.com, a business in Southern California to locate fracture zones for water supply. Why locate fracture zones? Because more water collects in fractures. I have stated many times, never believe a driller in Southern California. He will mislead you. He is not really your friend, and he is afraid to drill on this type of computer target. Recommendations carry a lot of weight. Honesty is important. All dishonest drillers know that if you hire Radar Water, I will not recommend them. They lose your job offer. So they will badmouth the computer in numerous crafty ways to secure themselves a job. If this has happened to you, you can recover a new well. Yes. As you just read, geophysical instrumentation images hundreds of meters. This 30-foot statement of depth by John Warden is false or a flat-out lie. Steve stated to me that he did not like John Warden, did not hire him. This verbal tactic, dishonesty, is parroted by Riverside County drillers. Riverside drillers do not like San Diego drillers drilling in their so-called territory. San Diego drillers are the better drillers. I only recommend the more honest, better drillers when a computer drilling target looks complicated to drill. Neither do Ramona drillers like outsiders drilling in their territory. All drillers do not like others in the drilling industry working in their so-called territory. There's 3 sales tactics drillers use to gain your confidence to drill blindly, besides using water witching. We can drill close to electricity. That will save you a lot of money for electrical hookup. 2. I can drill for you in this flat area or that flat area. A salesman's choice. A salesman's choice. But will I get water? A driller cannot coerce you into drilling here or there blindly for profit, for he knows your success rate normally will not satisfy your needs. Nor can a driller legally recommend a water witcher for profit. 3. We can drill a test hole. If there is water in it, then we can drill it out, widen the hole for more water. Sounds good, but in Fallbrook, 80-acre Grove, drilled a test hole, then widened it out, drilled down to 900 feet, price $29,000 with a low gallon per minute production. On another parcel, $50,000 on another hole. 4. Why would a driller knowingly widen up a hole with low gallons per minute? For what? The well is worthless for the Grove. Do not listen to this type of a driller. Only a dishonest driller will discredit this type of computer-generated target. Shy away from dishonest drillers, for it will cost you bucks. Grove manager said you have to sniff them out. You need to have the driller guarantee a flow rate in gallons per minute. He is the driller, and he is trying to convince you that he knows where the water is. Flow rate should be within a 600-foot depth in drilling. The video with a list of testimonials show that a 20-gallon per minute flow rate can normally be achieved within a well depth of 400 feet. For a home, 20 gallons per minute is sufficient. Important notice: Ramona driller asked a pump company to install a pump in a 800-foot well hole. Pump company purchased all equipment for 800 feet. The well only went down to 500 feet. Happens a lot. Lesson: at the end of drilling, you need to be present to count the drill stems extracted from the hole to make sure that the well was drilled to recorded depth. February 2014, Ramona resident called, stated that he installed his own pump and the well did not go down to depth. Also stated that he received only 2 gallons per minute of mud. Videos taken by happy anonymous homeowner. Steve does not want you guys tapping into his water source. "60 gallons per minute at 250 feet drilling depth." Steve elected to go first class for the gold, a detailed survey. You have a choice: either make the driller rich or save. Computer targets save many people thousands. Clients quote, "Radar water is the best thing since ice cream." Rex is happy. Testimonial from a well driller, another well in Ramona.
When people receive low producing wells, they typically will try contacting another well driller to be able to find and locate water. When I heard of water locating, I contacted Tony, and after speaking with Tony, I heard that the computer-generated target is up to 90% accurate. I spoke to other well drillers, and they said that when they drilled on Tony's targets, that they were 100% accurate, as much as 50 gallons a minute, and they were 20 for 20 as far as hitting good water on water locating's particular targets. The other thing that the well drillers mentioned to me was that the targets that were picked by Tony at waterlocating.com are typically more shallow than your average well, 500 to 600 feet versus 1,000 to 1,200 feet. So far, all the targets that I've drilled on for Tony have yielded large amounts of water, and we haven't had any dry holes. So based on that, I highly recommend Tony and Radar Geophysics for locating water for your potential well. Of the wells I've drilled on Tony's locations, basically the ground that we're drilling through is more fractured up than any others that I've drilled on, which actually makes it a little bit harder for drilling. But as far as being conducive to carrying water, I could just say from experience from this well in particular that the ground is really broken up, and it is the type of ground that carries water. And typically, like I said before, the depths that are located are more shallow than any other type of water locating technique. And the computer-generated target basically has more fractured areas than anything else I've ever drilled through in my experience drilling, and this is the area that carries water. I recommend Tony's the most efficient, effective geophysical water locating system that I've ever come across.
This is a testimonial of another driller. There is water on Hilltops.
Hi, my name is Mark Thorson. I'm with AAA Drilling out of Ramona, California. We've been drilling water wells for over 10 years. My driller's been drilling for over 40 years. And I'm here to talk to you about radar water computer-generated targets, which I've been drilling on for the last 5 years. And we've hit water every time on roughly 25 consecutive targets. We are, as they stated on the website, about 90, well, we've actually been more than 90% accurate for the 15 to 20 gallons a minute. We've had wells yielding over 100 gallons a minute, with an average closer to 50 gallons a minute on the targets that I've drilled. And many of the wells were not drilled to their full potential. The average well depth for radar targets that I've drilled has ranged anywhere from 200 to 500 feet. Where many of the water-witched wells are drilled down to 800 or more feet with not as much water as with the radar water targets. I've always drilled right on the target that Tony has set up for us. I've drilled from wells all the way from San Diego County to Riverside County, the Benton, Deep Portola area, Sage area, and La Cresta area. Radar water computer targets are much more productive than water witching sites, is my experience. Tony from Radar Water usually finds a very highly fractured granite and earth, which the water is more easily transferred through, and this generally means higher production in the well and more water. But it's a little harder for us drillers to drill on. And you need to drill into these highly fractured systems for a good viable source of water. Many drillers are not set up for this type of challenge. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of expertise, and you also need the right equipment to get through these areas and to develop the well and to make sure that you can get a liner in these wells. After drilling for Tony for a number of years, at first I was very skeptical, and I have been drilling on his targets for over 5 years, and now I feel comfortable recommending him. I don't like to recommend systems or people until I have a good feel for their character and also their product. And with Tony, I don't have a problem recommending him to anyone that I drill for.